Today we are giving you the goods on San Francisco's most sought-after chefs and world-class West Sonoma Coast winemakers.
This is the West of the West, and this is one of the most fun wine events you can go to.
How lucky am I to be chatting with Stuart from State Bird Provisions. How do you think California cuisine has evolved over the past, 45 years?
We demand like the best ingredients that we can get. We want to do something with our food.
Talk a little bit about the success of the restaurant. Were you and your wife just overwhelmed, or were you expecting this?
No, I don't think anybody expects this. We wanted a restaurant that was busy, that had lots of high energy, that was kind of the polar opposite of what we had been doing and trained in. We kind of wanted to take a philosophy of cooking that was like, let's just try it. Like, why not? We wanted there to be like a sustainability element to it all. One of the great successes of the restaurant, all of that aside, is that we wanted a place that we felt good being in, and if we felt good being in there, we knew that that would translate to the diners that came in.
You have a state bird on your menu, so what's the name? State Bird Provisions.
State bird of California is the quail. It's a dish we cook an awful lot of. I like to say that State Bird Provisions started out as a recipe for serving quail and slowly, evolved into a restaurant with very little parameters.
Having a meal at State Bird Provisions has now become a meaningful moment. As a chef, I gotta imagine it means something to you.
You know what, it does. And I feel like every day we go into that day reminded that, people have waited 60 days to get in. And what we try to do, and from the very beginning, as things were evolving and we started getting a lot of recognition, I was like, don't change a thing. People liked our restaurant from the beginning for what we were doing, and I never wanted to lose that.
I am thrilled to be joined by Courtney from Bar Tartine.
I would say that the philosophy behind what we do is make everything from scratch. So, we process our larder, all of our powders, our spices as much as we can in the restaurant, our dairy, we make our cheeses. We like to make things. I've lived in California for about 13 years now, and I've seen a huge shift just in, it's almost like everyone's getting more micro, or macro, I guess, would really be the term. We know our farmers better, we have better relationships with them. The quality of ingredients are amazing. They always have been here, but I think that the plethora and the things that we have to choose from, the variety has changed a lot.
And I love listening to you talk. You were talking a little bit about, for example, eggplant, and how you find the syrup and it drips off and it's so sweet, and you're using all kinds of different parts of the vegetables and the animal and everything to make your dishes.
Yeah, we try and utilize as much as we can, like the tops, you might cut the tops off your leeks before you cook them, but we turn that into, green onion powder. If it's flavorful, we will use it. If it doesn't have flavor, we don't use it. That's where we kind of draw our lines.
I am joined by Charlie Heinz, the man behind the legendary vineyard. People see Heinz on the label, they know they're getting quality grapes. Talk about what makes your grapes so special.
What makes Heinz Chardonnay or Pinot, today we have Pinot, or Syrah that we grow, what makes it very special is the location of where Heinz Ranch is.
It's not above the fog, it's not below the fog, it's in the fog.
Yeah, I describe it sometimes as growing grapes in a rain cloud. And I'm very fortunate because I am third generation grower, family-owned property for now over 100 years. So my grandparents purchased the original Heinz Ranch in 1912.
Winemakers line up. They line up to get your grapes. How do you decide who you're going to give the coveted grapes to, Charlie?
I have to have a good feeling about that person. I want to feel a connection. I think a lot about the future and what I can do, what we can do at this present time to improve what we have, to make it better and for future generations.
I'll raise my glass to 100 more years of success for you and your family. I am with Regina Martinelli, great-granddaughter of the original Jackass. Your title, not mine.
Absolutely.
You gotta tell us what the title means, Regina.
It's named after the vineyard my great-grandfather planted in the 1880s when he started our winery, and it is the steepest non-terrace vineyard in Sonoma County, if not the state. It's about a 65-degree slope. It is so tough to farm, you'd actually have to be a jackass to farm a hill that steep.
Hence the name?
Hence the name.
How did he end up here and start jackass farming?
So my great-grandparents were teenage runaways. They were in love. He was 19, she was 16, and her family told her, do not marry him, he's only a winemaker. Because they're
battle.
Yeah, they're a dime a dozen in Italy. But she said, I'm going. So they came to the New World. They bought some land, and they had 4 kids. And then the generations started from there. One of the things that's always funny about our family history is people confuse us with the sparkling cider Martinellis. But we do sell them apples, but we're not the same Martinelli.
What makes the wines from the west coast of Sonoma so special or unique?
The topography, the cool climate, and the soils that are out here. So, Russian River, Sonoma County is a bigger wine region, but the West Sonoma coast is definitely cooler. It has the cool morning fog, it has some more afternoons and some cool evenings, and it's definitely a labor of love. It's not the farming in the sunshine, it's farming in the cold, but that's a beautiful, beautiful climate for Pinot Noir and for grapes that are in Chardonnay and other varietals that are grown up on the coast.
We can't wait to try them. Do you have a toast or a cheers or anything you say in your family?
Salute partute.
Salute partute! What does that mean?
To your good health.
To your good health.